All right, class is in session here. I wanted to go over another topic with you guys that is often overlooked in terms of the fine details and execution of and that is kenneling and unkenneling. Now, if they were not prior, they will be now an integral part of your dog's life, everyday life, and that is the crate or the kennel. It is something that is, especially after training, definitely a requirement. I maybe start not phasing out entirely ever, but maybe I start being a little bit more loose with the usage of a crate after about year 3, if my dog does really well. But at any time, I know we have some dogs under, some dogs over that. At any time in a dog's life, it's important to understand the concept of the crate, be crate trained, and not just be put in a wire rectangle and we shut the door. There's a lot of misconceptions about crates in the world, but there's also a lot of, even in the group of people that advocate for them, misusage of it as well. So I want to make sure we understand it and we understand exactly how to work around the little nuances of crating and uncrating of dogs. So a crate is equivalent to a den. Den is something that is necessary in a dog's life for safety, security, just general comfort, happiness, structure, a million things. They need a crate. They need a den. A dog will find a den no matter what. If you aren't a crate family, if you haven't been in the past, and you're going, well, my dog lived a wonderful, long, happy life, and it never had a den. Untrue. It will find one. It will go under the coffee table. It will go under the dining room table. Some small dogs will go under couches. They'll go in corners. They'll hunker in corners. They'll figure out where their den is. But we can identify it and define it for them via the crate. And the beauty of the crate is that we not only provide them with this very necessary resource, it provides us with a lot of comfort and security. Our dog's not going to get into things. Our dog's not going to chew. Our dog's not going to do this, that, and the other if they're crated. Now, I'll say the number one misconception first with the crate is that it is solely for when I'm leaving. If that is your concept of the crate, your dog is going to hate it, most likely, because they're going to associate it with their favorite thing, leaving. So, number one rule is to crate while you are around. Start getting into the habit of crating while you're around. Short intervals, long intervals, a couple minutes, feed in there. I mean, make it consistently different lengths of time. As funny as that is, flirting with an oxymoron almost, but consistently vary the times. So they cannot predict how long they will be in there. They don't know what they're going in there for, and they do not equate it to us leaving. Sometimes, yes, we will be gone, but a lot of times we won't. And they won't be as concerned with discerning the difference between those two if we do them in both scenarios with, equivalent exercise. So, first concept is not only for when you're leaving. Do a lot of crating while you're there. You'll get your dog way used to it. They'll be more comfortable in there, and then they'll be better with it when you leave. They can hear you around. They know, all right, I just go in here, I chill, I get out at some point, I got some stuff to chew on in here. Sometimes I eat in here. Good stuff happens in here. This person lets me out, and then we hang out. I'll leave the worrying about the times and the world and the things I can't conceptualize up to the person. Number one. Number two, the actual act of putting our dog in, taking our dog out, has a little bit of cognizant behavior attached to it. When our dog goes in, especially because we're now using the clickers, which of course, whenever I need one, I can't find it. It's, especially for puppies, so we got Ted in here. When they're in there, it's an achievement. We don't celebrate, we don't have a big cheerleading party like we would, you know, if we're learning potty training or something, but it's still an achievement. So we're going to have a command for it. They're going to have the fulfillment of the command, and then we can still click and mark the obedience and reward with a little bit of vocal praise. So I'll go through this example with everyone's dog, of course, but what that would look like, what it looks like here, is bed, hand signal, vocals. They go in, we click, we say good job as we close the crate. Good job, good dog. We maybe toss a couple treats, or we scatter feed a little of the kibble, but they should have rewards in there. If they don't, like the high value stuff, like the real bones, I like to pull those. I'll leave the toys. They're, you know, that's just for self-soothing. They also use the bones for that too, but the bones are a little bit more of a reward. So I'll actually pull those just so that every time they go in, if I'm not doing kibble, if I'm not doing treats, I can do that real bone, and it's still like a payment, right? It's still, it kind of keeps up that excitement for the object itself, because it's not always readily available. It's something I get for something I did, so it feels more like a reward. And then when we are coming back to relieve them from crates, one of the biggest mistakes that I've seen is people get super excited. Hey, I'm happy to see you. Oh my gosh, oh, it's been so long. Oh, let's go on and play. Right, the voice goes up, the excitement goes up. All that teaches our dog is to whine, cry, do shrill noises, get super excited, and then I get out. Because what happened when this person, us, was super excited, high-pitched, shrill noises, they opened the crate and I was free. So they're going to mimic that behavior when they want to get out. So you will be home, you won't be home, and they'll start crying, pawing at it, whining in order to get out, because they saw you do that when you came home. So when you come home, it's very neutral, it's very controlled, it's very calm, and if the dog is displaying any of those things, the dog is not getting out of the crate. Whining, barking, pawing, no, absolutely not. Don't need to really correct. You can kind of just ignore. Always try, you know, Lima, if you guys are familiar. Least intrusive, minimally aversive. So ignore first. They'll usually get tired of it. They'll stop. As soon as they stop, then you can approach the crate and let out. If it's to the point of excess and we need to interrupt it, you know, or disrupt the behavior to give them a chance to reset, to then let them out, you can use the little compressed air pet corrector, the little squirt bottle, pair it with a vocalization, and then eventually it's just a vocalization of you saying, shh, enough. Then they stop, wait a couple, maybe 30 seconds, they control themselves, they can come out. It's a very simple process. But approach calmly. And then the final exercise is to test their impulse control, much the same as you would test their barrier control with a door in the house, or especially on lead, to make sure they're not bursting through doors. This is a very important threshold here, this little gate. It itself has a lot of emotions attached to it. So if we just wing the gate open and they sprint out of the crate, no. We don't want to start that way. We're not in the business of creating hyper aroused dogs. We're in the business of creating calm, obedient, predictable dogs, as much as dogs can be predictable. So we can only aid in that, in the hopes of that, by being calm and controlled and predictable ourselves. So approach the crate, everything's fine. We're not whining, barking, pawing. You're gonna click on these or those, whichever mechanism you got. You're gonna open it, and if they attempt that big old sprint out, we're gonna close it. So we're closing the door on hyperactivity, right? We never want our dogs super aroused in crates. These are what we want. Everybody's laying down right now. Howdy is nearly asleep. These are dogs that are crate trained, in crate training, doing very successful. I guarantee he's landed. Yep, can't see his anymore. I can see through here the Teddy is too. That's a crated dog. So when I came down here, did you hear the whining? Did you hear, right? Scampering around, kind of pacing, tails hitting the thing. There was vocalizing. I ignored everybody and I talked in a calm tone to obviously what they perceive as no one, and everybody fell asleep. It's just that simple. No correction, no disruption even. Just ignore them. Now, these states of mind, I'll let out for. Absolutely. Whatever gets achieved in the crate, or whatever the dog sees as achievement in the crate, it needs to be associated with calm. So they need to achieve receiving their bone by being in the crate and being calm. They can be a little excited for a bone, but you know what I mean. They're not flipping out, whining, barking, pawing, and then we give a bone. Of course not. And they need to achieve exiting the crate in a calm state. Otherwise, they're going to associate exiting the crate with an excited state. And then when they want out of it, they're going to start to get excited. Whether they see us or not, if they learn it from us and our excited behavior, then they're going to replicate it, obviously, when they see us. But if we do the little threshold control and we're constantly just opening and letting them run, open, let them burst out of it, they're feeling, it's kind of like a whole shot of a race, right? The gate is up, it's about to drop. They're feeling that energy even though it hasn't happened. And we don't want that energy in that space at all. Even if it's about to leave that space, we don't want manifesting in there, because then they want to magically open the door. Then they start getting that race anticipation. They start building up in there. No, not a state of mind where they can be controlled, not a state of mind where they can sleep. I can hear Howdy snoring. He has completely fallen asleep. He's twitching, he's dreaming. And a minute ago, he was pawing at the crate. So, great tips for crate control. Your dog needs to see you while they're crated as well. So, when you're home, if it's not in a space where you normally walk by, which is okay, just pass by it from time to time. They need to be able to become desensitized to seeing you and not being able to get to you. They cannot just magically get to us whenever they want to. That's not a thing. We're not building codependent dogs. We're not building dogs that are reliant on us as a crutch. We're building calm, confident, behaved canines, members of our family, right? So that's probably my last tip. So when you open it, get the sprint, close it. They'll go, oh, what the heck? Open it, sprint, close it. Open it. They hold position. They chill out a little bit. We can release them from the crate, but again, with a cue. Just like we had a cue to go in, we're going to have a cue to go out. I say free. So when they chill out and they show that impulse control and they're not bursting through the gate and they're in a state of calm, I'll open the gate first to make sure it's not faux calm and they're just pretending so they can burst out, because dogs will always find the shortest path to getting what they want. Open, and they still hold it free, and then they run out. Don't need to click for that one. It's not necessary. They're going to be so focused on the world and everything, they probably won't even hear the click. But clicking for going in, absolutely. And then, if you need further tips on it, my only other last big one is when I get stuff like this, when I get the near napping or the napping dogs and I'm around, the fact that they've been able to calm down so much around me is my favorite thing as a dog trainer who's mainly focused on behavior, because this is all we want. I mean, we don't want any of the nastiness. We don't want any of the whining, like I said. So if I see this, I can't just take it for granted. I also want to mark this stuff. So that's going to be you guessed it. So if you're, like I could see Howdy sometimes struggle a bit, Teddy for sure a bit. When they want to get to things with the crate idea, they may need some extra help. When you get this stuff, don't just go, oh, awesome, everything's great, I'm going to move on. Tell your dog it's awesome. Tell your dog that doing nothing is your favorite thing, because you are avoiding every bit of trouble if you're doing nothing. So tell your dog, get the clicker, get some treats. When I get napping dogs like this, I go by, no noise, don't get them excited, because they're in a calm state. Don't come up, oh, you good boy. No. Come by, click, drop, click, drop, click, drop, click, drop, click, drop. You're a robot. Okay? I know we love our dogs. I know we're excited to see them. I understand all of that super well, as I've had dogs my entire life. But we need to be considerate of when we show them excitement, when we show them attention, and when we show them affection. We cannot just give all of those things out freely, because if we do, we're going to be inadvertently marking and reinforcing the wrong states of mind and the wrong behaviors, the wrong body language manifestations. And we're going to slowly, accidentally be building not the calm, confident, collected companion that we want. We're going to build a dog who whines to get attention, who demand barks, who alert barks. We don't need any of that. These dogs are not service dogs. They're not here to protect the home and all of this nonsense. I mean, you want to bark when someone's at the door, you're a dog. Makes sense. Just make sure it's controlled. Make sure we're not allowing our dogs to live in an environment that's so unstructured they feel like everything's a guessing game. We need to be very clear with them, level-headed, and this is what you'll get. Come down here, bang, 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 noise, 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 ignore, ignore, ignore. 5 sleeping dogs, just like that. And it took some time. I mean, that's my time on the video here in the corner. We're going on 15-something minutes, but they calm down way quicker than 15 minutes. They calm down right at about 5 minutes. So, I like that everybody's so chill right now. I'm actually not going to, I changed my mind. I'm actually not going to do the unkenneling portion right now, because there's no point in disrupting this. There's pack cohesiveness right now. Everyone has decided it's nap time, and everyone is carrying out that nap time. There's no need to bust into that and force everyone out of crates. So I'll do the individual uncratings tomorrow for you guys, and I'll show you the little impulse control exercise with the door. It's simple stuff, guys. It's small stuff, but it's integral stuff. And that's the difference between a untrained and a trained eye when it comes to these things. You have to see all the little things. That's why these videos are so long and detailed, because I want you guys to be dog experts. I don't just want you to be dog owners. Some of you have more experience than others, obviously, but still, we need to share everything that works. We have to be vocal about it and detailed. So, questions, anytime are fine. Text that group chat. But crating is going to be a part of everyone's life when they go home. If you don't already have a den for them, get a den for them. If you don't have one for your other dogs, get one for your other dogs. You can't just kennel one and not the others. That's unfair. And like I said, I should say year 3 in training instead of 3 years old, because everyone starts at different times. But after about 3 years of training is when you can start to cut corners. You can have the crate maybe in a room and open and then just the room closed so the dog gets that space, but the crate is there. Just do not take the primary den away, and keep building up the importance of it. Keep anytime you get a cool, super cool treat or toy or whatever, and you wanna, give it to them on the couch or on the dog bed or on the chair and have them go crazy with it, give it to them in the crate. Give it to them in the den. Keep building the value of the crate. Toys, interesting bones, things they may have not seen before, enrichment stuff. Build up the value of the crate. To whereas now, when I let my dog inside, she can't get to the crate fast enough. She's not worried about getting out of it and doing the sprinting. I don't have to do the door control. I let her in the house, and she's boom, flip, turn in the crate, plop my butt down. What's cool? What's a cool thing that my dad's going to give me today? So usually the weekends, starting tomorrow, obviously Sundays are off. Usually Saturdays I try to do more like fun social videos. So I'm not sure if I'll do the uncrating and crating videos on Saturday or Monday, but I will do examples of them so you guys can see exactly what it looks like with the BED in, the click, the good job, the close, the reward, the leaving, the ignoring you saw here, and then the unkenneling, the opening, waiting till calm first, opening second, testing the impulse control with the gate, and then FREE, releasing from the crate. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Monday. Maybe might just do a fun one tomorrow. Speaking of enrichments, like things like this in the crate, I have a cool thing that I do when we have snow. I make some little treat enrichments for them, so I might do that video tomorrow. It's a good one. It's a fun one. So usually, more during the week, we're focused on the little minute stuff. No obedience training. Weekends just kind of socialization and enrichment time. And you can mimic that schedule when we go home too. Try to get your sessions in. Try to get 2 to 3 15-minute sessions of training in every day. And then weekends can kind of be just socialize and exercise. But remember those 3 keys that I said when we were doing that group socialization video. You have to, 3.5 or so if you count socialization and exercise as one. You have to fulfill those needs every day. Every day you have to fulfill those. If the weather's bad outside and you can't run, you got to figure out how to exercise inside. You got to play tug. You got to get a doggy treadmill. You got to get something. My dog will go crazy with a jolly ball, those big plastic balls, indoors too. I'll put it in a playroom, but I'm going nuts in there. Exercise, socialization, obedience, and affection every day. But in that order. I'm going to say hi and bye to everyone. Everyone is being so good. Like I said, I'm not going to do the uncrating. Sometimes things change, and we need to be adaptable, right? Intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. Good. And little Tedward, good boy. Everybody's nice, calm, peaceful. If anything, I'll go get the clicker, and I might use this time for a click and drop treat, which would kind of be free shaping. I'm not asking you to do anything other than nothing. My favorite thing to ask of dogs as a behaviorist is nothing. But we'll do the crate videos another time, so so good. And we'll do the fun enrichment stuff this weekend. Show you guys that. And there's the whining, so we got more to ignore. Take care, guys.